December 2023. They say it takes a village to raise a child, but no one tells you what happens when the village turns against you. I thought hiring help would make me feel more present in my daughter's life. Instead, it made me disappear. It started after months of sleep deprivation, short deadlines, and a toddler in full meltdown mode. My daughter Ava was 2.5, and I loved her more than anything, but I was unraveling. I work from home, which on paper should be perfect, but deadlines don't care about tantrums. Clients don't wait while your kid throws spaghetti at the wall. I wasn't eating well. I wasn't sleeping. I was yelling more than I wanted to admit. So I did what the blog suggested. I hired a live-in au pair. Her name was Elise. She arrived on a Wednesday, blonde, French, barely 20. Her voice was soft, her manners flawless, and Ava took to her instantly. By Friday, Elise had reorganized Ava's toy shelves, implemented a new nap routine, and taught her to say merci instead of thank you. She cooked, she cleaned, she even folded my laundry, unasked. At first I was grateful, deeply grateful. Then, little things started to feel off, like how Ava only wanted Elise to read her bedtime stories, or how she started crying when I picked her up from daycare, screaming, "No, want Lily." She couldn't even pronounce Elise, but that didn't stop the obsession. I told myself it was normal. Elise was fun. I was stressed. Kids pick favorites sometimes, but the distance between me and my daughter started to grow, tangibly. And Elise noticed. One evening, I came home from a grocery run and found Ava curled up on the couch with her. They were whispering and giggling. I stood there for a full minute before either of them noticed me. When they did, Elise gave me this polite little smile. Ava didn't even say hi. I went to the kitchen to put away the groceries, only to find Elise had already restocked the fridge and thrown out the leftovers I had made earlier that week. "My pasta was still good," I said aloud. She didn't answer. That night, Ava asked Elise to put her to bed. I said no, firmly, and carried my daughter upstairs. She cried like I was kidnapping her, kicked, screamed. I sat in her room while she screamed herself hoarse. I left in tears. An hour later, I found Elise sitting outside the door. "She misses me," she said gently. "Maybe let me do bedtime tomorrow, just to help." Her voice was soothing, like always. I said no. I opened my mouth, but I didn't know what to say. The next morning, I woke up and found them already playing downstairs. Ava was smiling. And Elise, she winked at me. That week, I started noticing missing things, small stuff. The framed photo of Ava and me at the beach, gone from the hallway. My scented candles in the guest bathroom, replaced. Ava stopped asking for me at all, even when she got hurt. She ran to Elise, and Elise started commenting on my parenting. "Maybe she eats better if the food is less processed," she said one lunch. "She cries less when the TV stays off," she said another. Always with that sugar-sweet smile, never direct, just suggestions, notes, corrections. I went online to remove her from the app, but her profile wasn't there anymore. No name, no message history, not even the payment receipt. I contacted support. The company said I must have booked outside the platform, which I didn't. I checked my email. No confirmation, no welcome message, just blank space. It was like Elise had never existed online. I told my husband. He said I was overreacting. "She's just a good nanny. You're tired." No one believed me, not even my therapist. I started going once a week again. "She's not replacing you," the therapist said. You're still her mother. Then came the night I found Ava asleep in my bed. Elise was lying beside her, reading a book. When I opened the door, she looked up calmly. She had a nightmare. She came to me. I thought it would be comforting. I stood there, frozen. I didn't say a word. I just nodded. But that night, I didn't sleep. The next morning, I told Elise to leave. She didn't argue. She just looked disappointed, packed her bag, hugged Ava, smiled at me. I think she'll miss me, she said. I didn't reply, but she didn't leave, at least not right away. That night, I heard the front door open. I ran downstairs and found nothing. No one. The next morning, Ava said Elise had read her a story. I searched the house, every room, nothing. Maybe she left a key. Maybe I imagined it. Maybe I was losing it. 2 days later, I collapsed in the kitchen. I woke up in the hospital. They said it was exhaustion, stress, low blood sugar, maybe a fall. There was a bruise on my head, but no sign of forced entry, no toxins in my blood, just a domestic incident. They asked who else lived in the house. I said my husband, my daughter. They asked if I'd had any help. I opened my mouth, but I didn't know what to say. There was no Elise, not legally, not in the system, not on paper. My husband said she must have been through a private agency. Maybe I handled it alone and forgot the details. Even I started to wonder. Maybe I imagined some of it. Maybe not all, but some. But Ava, she didn't forget. When I came home, she barely looked at me, didn't want hugs, didn't want bedtime stories. She would just sit in her room, cradling the stuffed bunny Elise gave her, sometimes whispering to it, sometimes calling it Lily. I'm in therapy now, twice a week, not to talk about Elise, but to talk about how it feels when your own child seems to look right through you, to talk about how to rebuild a bond that someone else quietly stole. They say time heals all wounds, but some wounds don't bleed. They just rot from the inside. I'm her mother, but sometimes I think I'll never be mom again.